Hi, welcome to me reading from Living Clean. Today's chapter is setting ourselves apart. We're going to go for another 24 hours of no picking up, no drink or drugs. And this chapter starts with whether they had 3 years or 30. We recall the members who had the most time when we got clean. We may or may not have liked them, but still they were important to us. We depend on those with more clean time to teach us and energise our recovery, but eventually we find that we are standing where they once did. We look around for the old timers and notice we're them. We are grateful for those who are still with us, but we must also be open to learning from those who come after us, or we will get very lonely. Anonymity means that we are all equals in NA, no matter how much clean time we have. Remembering that can be hard sometimes, and we may need to remind one another that it's true. We can get caught up in expectations of where we should be or where we should know with our clean time. Honesty, humility, and a healthy sense of humour can help us navigate through these challenges. We learn to help members answer their own questions and not to feed the image of ourselves as an authority figure. The fact that people ask for our advice doesn't mean we are qualified to give it. We share our experience, strength and hope, but we are careful with our opinions, especially when we know they're taken seriously. It's nice to feel important or respected, but we indulge in it at our peril. When we allow our fellow members to believe that we no longer have needs, the result is that we have nowhere to go when we are in pain. No amount of clean time can make us immune to our disease or exempt from the challenges of life. Recovery is an everyday, just for today process. A relationship with our higher power requires ongoing conscious contact, and ongoing growth requires that we remain teachable. Keeping it green means that we are still in process, still willing to change and grow and work on ourselves. We keep our recovery alive by feeding it. If we are not getting ongoing support and nourishment, we get depleted. It is our responsibility to find that support, even if it means we need to reach out across long distances. The simple fact is, if we stay clean, one day we will be the one with the most clean time in the room. It is a gift, a responsibility and a pitfall, all at once. Many members share that it's easy to feel separate when there is a gap in clean time. Sometimes being the member in the room with the most time feels as daunting as walking into our first 90 meetings. We may feel like the newer people don't understand us, or that there is no one we can reach out to for help. When we are more aware of our responsibility than of our ability to get what we need, we feel isolated. A member shared that being viewed as an elder was uncomfortable. I'm the one people come to with questions, and I don't feel equal. It's not about feeling better than, but separate from. We don't always know when or how we will find ourselves in trouble, and we certainly don't know who is going to get us out. We find people who have what we want, regardless of clean time. It's one of the most beautiful things about NA. Someone always steps up to the plate. It's often not whom we expect. We do not have the luxury of choosing who is allowed to save our lives. It is sometimes said that our emotional development stops when we start using, and that when we get clean, we pick up where we left off. It may or may not be that simple, but the fact is, most of us have some serious maturing to do in recovery, and we spend many years in the process. Most of us go through some time in our recovery when we are desperate for recognition and approval. Really basic questions become important. Am I visible? Am I heard? Do I matter? It is neither selfless nor anonymous. It may even be destructive, but it's frequently a part of our process. It can be appealing to get up on a pedestal. Actually, many people on pedestals don't volunteer for it, and once we are up there, we may not know how to get down. When people treat us differently because of our clean time or our service, it can get very lonely and very strange. The less we believe we deserve that attention, the more insecure we get, and the more approval we seek. When we are past that point in our lives, we can look back and see the humour in wanting to be a celebrity in an anonymous fellowship. But when we're in that place, it can feel like the most important thing in the world. I remember with a lot of times said, when I was new, you loved me, but you didn't baby me. Don't do it now. It's condescending and it separates me from any other recovering addict. It's the separation that makes that position so dangerous. As willing as some of us are to put people up on pedestals, others of us are even more eager to knock them down. We can be mean and spiteful, judgmental and harsh. Kicking the pedestal doesn't help anybody to change. A member shared, any time I've been crazy, when it all came crashing down, the people I came to weren't the mean, judgmental ones, but the ones who had been honest and loving. If we want to help someone down, waiting may be the best thing we can do. Time is more powerful than we are. We may or may not be the people to carry the message to a friend who forgets. We're all equal here. It may or may not be our job to confront someone. Pulling someone's covers is an incredibly intimate experience. If we don't pay attention to circumstances, what we do may simply be violent. Being humble and honest is a better approach than trying to be someone else's conscience. The fact that we do not have to live perfectly to carry a message. More importantly, we don't get to choose who deserves to be a vehicle for something greater. We can carry a message even if we're not quite living it, and some people might be helped by what we share, but inside it is slowly destructive. When our expectations start to make our choices for us, we can become disillusioned, disconnected, and fearful of the very thing that saves our lives. Newer members expect old-timers to be stable, grounded, and principled, and often we are, but there will always be times when we fall short. Once we lose the feeling that we are an ordinary garden variety addict, like everyone else, it can be hard to regain it. We seek out others who have had that experience and ask them how they handled it. We are addicts in recovery, doing our best to learn how to live. When we remember that, the rest falls into place. Consciousness can change through its surroundings with no action needed. At some point, shared a member, I had all the attention I could stand and I started pushing the next guy up front. This is our learning ground, and sometimes we make a mess of the process. It can be a wonderful aid in helping to get free of our need for approval. I really, finally don't care what people think of me, said an older member. Ultimately, we see that when we are secure in ourselves, we carry a message without saying a word. Time is time, and in the end, what it gets us is a seat in a meeting like everyone else. We come to enjoy our own anonymity, even if people still sometimes call us out as special. When we share from the heart, we generally don't remember much about what we share. We disconnect from ego and something else happens. The truth comes through us and it takes on a life of its own. We hear the gratitude after we speak and know it's not about us, it's the love that came through us that teaches us all something in the moment. The love that we feel in the room is more powerful than any words that are shared. When we glimpse what it is, we are allowed to be a channel for we are truly humbled. The best way to model recovery is to walk the walk and show up honest and real. When we are sort of showing up and we're sort of honest, we're sort of in danger. We need to remember that our first job always is to allow our own lives to be saved. Sharing what is real for us is a benefit to our recovery and a responsibility to those who follow. Even if it doesn't make us look good, a member shared, I remember the people who were here when I got clean and how they bared their souls in meetings, and I follow suit. It's a benefit to my recovery and a responsibility to those who follow. We learn from each other's experience. Sharing our journey with others is how we teach and learn at the same time. Honest sharing is always attractive, even when we are sharing some really unattractive stuff. When we are honest and open, it resonates with people. When we are humble, they feel it, and so do we. Right, that's the end of that chapter. That was a great read. This is the Living Clean book. Yes, I know it's backwards on screen, but you can see the cover just in case you want to get a copy. The next chapter is called Keeping It Real. Right, thanks for listening. That was my tea. I don't know if you heard it beeping. Yeah, I'll go and get my dinner. Thank you.